All right. Hello, 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 my friends. And welcome, first and foremost, to session number 63 of Unlikely Heroes, our regular Sunday night Dungeons and Dragons game. I apologize that we were not here last week. We had kind of a, excuse me, we had kind of a crazy weekend with an impromptu vacation, which was wonderful. Definitely worth it. But anyways, yeah, so that's that, and here we are. So we're going to dive into it tonight with a quick recap, a little bit of update on my end, some XP. Yes, thank you, Seru. Trust me, it was pretty terrifying there for a little while. It was my first mountainous drive, and it was scary. So we're going to jump into an XP recap, do a normal recap, and then we're going to just dive headlong into this because, to be quite honest with you, I just looked back at my notes and realized that Doc technically died 4 weeks ago. Now, we missed out on one session because we were gone, but it feels like a fucking eternity, and yeah, it'd be kind of cool to get her back. Or not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. Anyways, yeah, bear with us here while we get ourselves set up. And thank you very much for joining. Seru, we totally understand that you've got a shift tonight. Congratulations on that, by the way. But if you can't stay, absolutely no problem. We absolutely get it. All right, guys. Here we go. Okay. Everybody hear me all right?
Yep.
Perfect. I'm going to do one quick test just to make sure I got everything working.
Mr. Gray?
No, go away.
Okay, good. We're live. Okay, so session number 63, my friends. This is wild. So recap from last time, as far as I can remember, is admittedly with as busy as we were, I did not have a chance to listen back to the notes or listen back to the session. However, I do know for a fact that we kicked the session off with a pretty long conversation between Doc and Garl Glittergold himself. There was a lot of discussion and even some bartering that happened where Doc said, and she caught me off guard, by the way. She didn't tell me ahead of time she was going to drop this on me as a DM, but she asked. That's that's a pretty fair point. So Doc asked Garl, please send me back. I swear I'm done with this, and to prove that to you, erase every bit of knowledge I have about poisoning and assassinations and subterfuge and sneakery. Sneakery. You know what that isn't. I don't think that's actually a word, but it is now.
It is now.
Yeah. Sneakery and thievery. I guess they go hand in hand. Okay, so you guys had this conversation, and Garl eventually was like, you know what? Okay, here's the contingency, though. You will never, ever, ever, ever be allowed to work for any assassin guild, any thieves guild. You cannot get yourself involved in this whatsoever. And Doc was like, done. And he was like, okay, if your friends can bring you back, because I'm not sending you back. If your friends can manage to bring you back, or if somebody brings you back, you can go. But you've heard my contingency, and that was that. Then we jumped over to Mr. Gray, who was taken and imprisoned in the local jail, not the actual prison. The prison would be in the Ore Master's Fortress. So you were put into the jail temporarily. Obviously, you knew what was going on, but nobody else was really sure. You guys had shown back up to the House of the Dwarf Lord, and there was a fucking lieutenant in there investigating and digging through your shit. He left after a brief conversation with you guys where Aurora and Ree legitimately told the truth because they had no fucking clue what went down. But Gray didn't lie, but Gray definitely didn't offer up the actual truth. And he got away with it for a little while. That was until the investigating team realized, oh, they've got plenty of priests on staff. Go grab one of them. We'll talk to the corpse. And of course, Doc's corpse, who was not inclined to lie, because why the hell would she at that point? She's already dead. I mean, it's not like the person who killed her was interrogating her. But anyways, the questions were asked, and the questions that were asked were, who killed you? Krogmore. Why? I started it. Why? I was an assassin paid to do a job. why did you leave the tavern last night? That was a question that didn't get asked. But then it was who contracted you? And then you said someone compelled by a dark force. And then there was the final fifth question was who? And the single scariest word that could have possibly happened in the entire session was Gray. And that is when the arresting team arrived, slapped Gray in manacles, and dragged him off to jail. It was at that point that Ree and Aurora made sure that they retrieved the portable hole from Gray's belongings, which was not an issue because Gray gave them permission. And then Ree and Aurora, in a very interesting moment of panic, decided that at about... let's see... At about, I think we were looking at like 6 p.m. They were going to go to the Ore Master's Fortress to do something. Honestly, I don't even know entirely what, but we'll find out here pretty soon. With that being said, that's where we left the session off. Gray is in jail, temporary housing in jail. Doc is drinking tea. That's right. They treated you very, very nice. Gray, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, one of the guardsmen was actually like a huge like fanboy of yours, and that's why you got the tea and the extra treatment.
The ones that came to fetch me were too.
Exactly. All you had to do was flash that beautiful pearly white smile, and they were bought. So then we're gonna pick it up right where we left off. Doc is dead still, but talking with Garl, or hanging out with Garl in a beautiful gnomish meadowside, and That's where we're going to start. So, let me go ahead and strike up some tunes real quick just to get the scene set, and then we're going to discuss our experience recap. Okay. So, XP recap from last time. That was session number 62. So, RP was spot on. Normally, I'm giving 500 RP experience if we don't have combats, which is the majority of our sessions. However, last session was a little bit more worthwhile, especially between Garl and Doc. And then the interactions between Gray and the guardsman, who he was very clearly trying to work over. So I upped it to 650 experience apiece. So that brings Gray to 33,856. Aurora, I'll have somebody send you a message with this, 33,044. And the remainder of the party at 35,874. So, session number 63. Any last minute questions, comments, or clarifications?
I can breathe and get enough XP to level up.
Well, hopefully you breathe long enough to hit that level.
If I don't, it'll be great.
Okay, so we will set our scene just outside of the House of the Dwarf Lord Inn. It is currently day 13, by the way. Today is the Monday, the 13th of Jutet at 6 p.m. You guys are aware that Xavier is supposed to arrive tomorrow with your Scroll of Raised Dead. Doc has been questioned one time via Speak with Dead, and her body still remains in a torpor with the oh god, I can never remember the name of the fucking spell.
The repose.
Yes, thank you, Gentle Repose. With Gentle Repose over her, so her body is not deteriorating at this point. But yeah, that's where we're at. So any other questions, comments, clarifications? Perfect. All right. Then we start our first scene here with Aurora and Ree. You have just arrived on the outskirts of the Ore Master's Fortress. There are 4 crossbowmen and a single spearman out here. I honestly don't recall how far into this conversation we got, if any. Does anybody remember if we had stopped right at that point?
We had talked to the shopkeep. The coked out shopkeep, the runesmith, sold a bunch of stuff and got some money from him, enough to pay off
right.
Xavier. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but so far, like when we ended, we just got here.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
perfect.
'cause he had offered a stupid amount for your mall, and we had that exchange glance.
Yeah.
No.
It came real close. If I'm not mistaken, you guys, he was getting like way up there, like stupid
10,000.
high.
10K?
Yeah.
10,000. Yeah.
And you were like, no, no.
It was
Oh,
very
maybe
tempting.
so.
It was very tempting. I think if you raised it any more, I would have been like, all right,
Take the fucking thing and give me my club back.
pretty much. Just give me a table. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I trade you for the table leg. Okay, so Ree and Aurora, you have just arrived at the exterior of the Oremaster's fortress. One of the guards steps forward. The only guard holding a melee weapon. He steps forward, and he looks out at you and kind of squints, and he says, "Oh, all right. It's rare to see you two here by yourselves. What can I do you for?"
I think we're here to talk to the Ore Master.
Okay. Regarding what exactly? I don't think he's expected to see you.
No, we didn't have an appointment. Yeah, we're hoping to talk to him about a friend of ours in jail, right? Is that why we're here?
Have you, Aurora's going to speak up in Dwarven. You've heard about the unfortunate circumstances with our other companion, right? We're hoping to speak to the Ore Master regarding that.
He says, "Oh, hi. It's a shame. It's a shame, really. I can see if the Our Lord is in for the moment, but I'm not entirely sure. It's supper time, so let me see if he's been fetched for supper, and we'll see what we can do for you."
Okie dokie. Thank you.
With that, he enters the fortress and kind of disappears. The four crossbowmen, they each respectively, over the course of the next 10 minutes or so, peek out from behind their respective columns and kind of just, especially to you, Ree, all of them kind of give like a little shy wave and then, go back to just standing their guard.
Hey guys, nice crossbows. Doing great.
You hear kind of a heavier set guy back over here who's kind of been trained on you, but not aggressively, just he can see you clearly more than the others, and he says, "Oh, thank you. They're heavy."
They look pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how you get strong as fuck, boy.
Right. I usually just throw my bolts at people.
His eyes kind of go wide. Really? And it hurts him?
Yeah. Well, I mean they're big. They're big bolts. I mean they're more like spears. I don't have any because I threw all mine at somebody.
Oh. Wait. Are you talking about, like, spears or javelins?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I thought you meant, and then he like pulls one of his quarrels out of the quiver, and he's like, if it's like this, but real
but
long.
bigger. Yeah. But
Yeah.
bigger. Yeah.
All right. This time the door swings open. The guardsman steps back out from before, and he says, "The Ore Master's unfortunately taken ill from supper, which he had earlier. It's about a 50-50 shot with this new chef, unfortunately, that either the entire keep goes to bed extremely happy or with food poisoning. So, is there a way we could have him reach out to you, or would you maybe like to speak to Morgani? She's second in command right now since she didn't fall ill."
Yeah, Aurora, that sounds like a thing, right? Yeah.
Yes, if she's available, that would be very helpful.
Oh, all right, well, follow me this way then. And he turns around and he leads you back inside. And you can tell immediately, Aurora, that the route that he's taking you inside is around to where you had seen and met Morgani the past few times, which is in the library or the scribes' quarters. So he leads you guys in. Yeah. All right, so you guys are brought into Morgani's quarters. As you walk in, the two guards that were there was one guard actually like standing guard at the base of the stairs, and then there was one who led you to him. He says, "Just go up and please just mind your manners. She's in the middle of something." But you walk up the stairs, and you get yourselves kind of set, and there's Morgani. She's standing there, and she's got kind of like a lectern in front of her, and she looks like she's scribing something, and she glances up momentarily and over her glasses, and she says, "Just give me one moment, please, and I'll be right with you." Finishes writing, puts the quill down. She blows on the parchment a couple of times, and then she rolls it pretty quickly, ties it off with a piece of ribbon, and then you see her grab from 3 or 4 wax signets sitting on top of the lectern. She pulls one off, dips it in a black wax, and then seals it. She sets it to the side and says, "Excuse me. Yes, Aurora, good to see you. What can I do for you?"
Have you met my friend Ree yet?
No.
No, don't believe I've met Ree before, but I've heard about you. I've heard you're a great fighter. Actually, I heard you gave some of our champions a run for their money.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I punched butthole face pretty good a couple times. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, congratulations.
Sorry. I said, mind my manners. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. His chin is quite cleft, indeed.
Yeah, it is.
But yes, so we've made our acquaintance. We've made acquaintance, I suppose. I am Morgani. I am the scribe to the Ore Master and second in command. Unfortunately, the Ore Master's not feeling very well after after a, we'll say, sheepish meal was served, undercooked, potentially well-worn from a few days of sitting. But that's all right. Our new chef is learning.
Yeah, he's a good guy though. Hey, so a friend of ours just died. I don't know if you knew about that.
I have had reports, and she kind of like gestures to piles of parchment and scrolls lying on the table next to her. I've received reports from quite a few guardsmen, and I'm still attempting to piece together exactly what has transpired, as there are some mixed versions of the story. But yes, I did learn of your friend's death, and I'm so sorry for your loss. I pray that the priests and priestesses of Underhill can bring her back to the fold, or give her proper rights and see her out of existence.
Yeah, well, we hope that last one isn't happening. We think we have a way to bring her back. But in the whole confusion, my boyfriend Gray was arrested, thinking he was somehow, part of it. Honestly, I think it might have been framed or something. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Can we back up for just a moment?
Yeah.
You're Gray's girlfriend?
Well, yeah. I mean, he doesn't really know it, but yeah, kind of. I mean,
look, I truly believe, and yes, I've heard his performances, but he definitely deserves you. You deserve him. Maybe not all of him in some of his worse for wear parts, but I think you two are fitting, and I will make sure that you are recognized as the partner to the most famous bard that has ever graced Underhill. I will make sure that gets around so that you are shown proper respect, young lady.
oh, wow, that's very kind of you. Thank you. So it's official then?
Well, as far as I'm concerned.
Nice.
Aurora's trying to stifle a laugh.
Yes, so I have not heard that that. So I'm sorry. So you said Gray has been imprisoned. Is this correct? Here in the fortress or in the
No.
jail?
No, in the jail.
Ah, was it? Did he tell off another noble?
Not yet.
Oh,
Not today, as far as I know.
what is his connection to this death?
I don't. I don't think Rhea actually knows necessarily. I'm not exactly sure, but he was kind of just like hauled off in connection to Doc's murder.
Ah, now I understand. Give me one moment. I may be able to help clarify a few things. Just bear with me. She turns and she steps over to the table next to her, and she digs through probably 15 or 20 different scrolls that are rolled up, tied with ribbon, and bound with wax. She finds one, she turns towards a candle sitting on the table, and she reheats the wax over it, and you see a little bit of the wax drip off onto the candle, and as it does so, it kind of unfurls. She turns back around to where the lectern is, and she unfolds it, and then she takes these two pretty much just like spikes, like pythons, and she sticks them in the top, and she unrolls it down, and she looks it over. Okay. Okay, see, now that's not entirely incriminate. Oh. Oh. Ooh.
Ooh.
We, not me, but we as in the governing body here in Underhill, decided that it would probably be best, due to the nature of this crime, as it was horrific, as I understand, and quite brutal, to question Doc's corpse. Well, her spirit, really. Not her corpse so much. Her corpse was used as a vessel. Our priests performed a speak with dead ritual on her. And if you'd like, I can read you the minutes that were taken from our acting scribe during the ritual.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
please.
yeah.
So, question number 1. Who killed you? Answer. Krogmaw. Question number 2. Why? The response from Doc. I started it. Question number 3. Why? Doc's response. I was an assassin paid to do a job. Question number 4. Who contracted you? The answer? Someone compelled by a dark force.
I mean, that could be anybody.
And question number 5. Who? And the response. Gray. And the spell ended.
Maybe she was just talking about a color. Maybe that was her favorite color.
Well, until we've had time to properly interrogate Mr. Gray, as the spirit of the fallen party member told us the truth, which is good because there is no compulsion for them to do so. We will be able to determine exactly what happened and what went down. We are also, just so you are aware, seeking out Mr. Krogmaw, and we will be having a conversation with him under a Zone of Truth ritual, which will allow us to see exactly what happened, why it happened, and when it happened. If he tries to lie, essentially, we'll be able to tell that he's trying to lie, thankfully. But just so you know, all parties are being investigated. The lieutenant who visited you, I believe it was earlier today, he does not believe. I've read his report, actually, as you were coming in. I was signing the officiant's boxes as far as his testament. He does not believe that you nor Miss Aurora have any fault or had any knowledge. His report truly believes that the both of you were on the back burner and that this contract was specifically detailed and ironed out between Mr. Gray and Doc.
Doesn't make any sense though. Why would he? It doesn't make any sense. Why would he contract Doc to kill this guy? It doesn't.
Because of what he did to you, Gray.
He just punched me in the face a couple times.
He tried. It was more than that.
You get punched in the face daily.
Yes, and most things that punch you in the face end up dead. She's gonna turn to. I'm blanking on the name.
Morgani.
Thank you. She's gonna turn to Morgani. Okay. So, obviously, we were not privy to this. And obviously, we're not entirely used to the details of your laws and such. What would the penalty be were Gray to be found guilty of this? Of attempted assassination or hiring an assassin, something like that. What would the penalty be for him?
That's where, ironically enough, the law becomes rather gray. If Mr. Gray or Doc are found guilty of attempted assassination, accepting a contract for hire, which is an assassinations contract, or contracting an assassin to carry out a job, or a bounty, or a contract, the ultimate judgment does lie with the Overlord himself. Typically, and statistically, when these things have happened, there have been one of two outcomes. Outcome one is leniency, which is banishment from Underhill for the rest and remainder of one's natural life, with a monetary payment to those affected directly and physically by the offendees. And two is the exact opposite, and that would be public execution by crushing. And by crushing...
She's already been executed and hung up in the town square, so, I mean, we got that already.
Well, that's not exactly how it works. Unfortunately, it would seem that this friend of yours, Doc, though according to her own admission, is an assassin. Unfortunately, she's not a very good one, and that is why there's an attempted assassination charge and not a full assassination charge. So, should she be found guilty and put to death, she would have to again suffer another death on her spirit in order for the judgment to be complete.
Okay.
But, again, the Overlord works in mysterious and many ways, and it is distinctly possible that many things are taken into consideration. Of course, there will be a court hearing. There may even be additional reparations paid to the offended party. I can't say I'm not the Overlord, but I can tell you that it is his judgment call in matters this serious.
I mean, pretty sure the guy who killed her has all our money anyway, so, I mean, he's been paid pretty well.
Again, that is not... Yes, unfortunately, he was attacked, and he fought off his assailant, as was protection, I guess, against himself. It was self-defense. And unfortunately, if you are jumped by bandits in the street, nobody's going to make you give them their money back. So, it just doesn't work like that. But we have not contacted or seen Mr. Krogmore at this point, and there is distinct possibility we uncover something else that maybe is not in his favor. So just take it for what it is in the interim, and know that we are doing everything we can to the fullest extent of the law. We are also well aware of what you and your team have done for this city, but unfortunately your favors do see a tunnel quickly closing in around them, as Mr. Gray has already been arrested once since you saved us. You've also been paid handsomely for that. It does not give you free rein to assassinate anybody in the city who happens to, upset you. Which I'm even more curious about, honestly, because, quite frankly, you kicked the shit out of Krogmar in the
Yeah.
arena, so why would they want to assassinate him?
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it.
Well, maybe it's a conversation for the four of you to have. Hopefully, your friend can return from the dead, and as soon as she does, and we have Krogmar in custody, we'll be able to sit everybody down and figure out exactly what happened. In the interim, I would suggest stay out of trouble. She glances past Ari and looks at Aurora, all of you, and get some sleep.
One more question. I'm sorry. How long will this process take, generally?
It depends on how the parties plead. If the parties plead guilty, it could be a same-day jury, judge, and potential executioner. It could all happen in the same day, or if the parties plead not guilty, it could be dragged out over the course of days, weeks, months.
We won't let it go that long, Rave. We'll get to your family. We'll be able to help them.
She kind of looks side-eyed at you. What's wrong with your family?
We're kind of in the middle of this thing where these fucking creepy ass monsters are kind of like popping out of different worlds and sucking the will to live out of everybody. And I just heard that one of these monsters may be in my home in a little village, Pudu, in the Grelian Mountains. So I'm a little. We need to go like soon rather than later, and this whole thing is not what we needed right now, to say the least.
Well, I'm well aware of your quest against the Shade Touched.
Yeah.
I've heard the tales. I've reached into the depths of our archives, and she kind of points around at the room, and found every bit of information that was even whispered about them from ages past. And there's not much to it, but I understand they're terrible creatures nonetheless. It's unfortunate that your friends, if they did this, that they decided to do it now, knowing that your family was in trouble. And I hope that you give them a good licking when it's all said and done. Let me clarify that. I said
Okay.
that... You took that literally, and I don't mean to insult your intelligence.
No, you're right to, yeah.
Give them a good whooping.
Yes. Okay.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay.
Uh,
I was gonna say that's a little weird. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lick them for doing something bad. That's just something, That's kind of like a little bit of a reward. You know what I mean? But okay.
Oh, see, now I know why your friends call you friend. You are excellent company, Joe Ritty. Yes, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to these documents. If you do have anything else, obviously you're free to ask now, or I do highly encourage that you find yourself some rest and see to it that you reach out to your friends and ensure that they put this entire thing to rest as quickly as possible to help you, if nothing else.
I guess I do have one more question.
Yes.
Do your guards need help tracking this son of a bitch down? Like, I can help with that?
No, it's not that. The issue was he was in training bouts this morning into early afternoon, which means we essentially nobody can enter the training grounds during. Well, actually, I'm assuming it's probably about time for them to let up training, and because he is not a person of interest right now, as there was an admission of guilt from one of your party members, it was not worth shutting an entire operation down to pull an individual. But he'll be coming in very shortly.
Rory, do you have anything?
I think that we're going to need to trust the Ore Master's judgment in this. However, before we take our leave and let you go back to your work, I might be able, if he has a touch of illness from the cooking, I may be able to lend a little bit of comfort. And I wouldn't bother him with any questions or anything, but I could try and help before we go.
That's not only extremely generous, but very kind of you, Aurora. Unfortunately, because some of your party are currently being held on charges of attempted assassination and hiring an assassin, it's been explicitly forbidden that any of you have direct contact with the Ore Master at this time until we can figure things out.
I understand. It's unfortunate, but in that case, simply pass on our wishes for a quick recovery.
We absolutely will do. And thank you again for visiting. I do truly hope that your friends make it out of this well.
They're coming back, one way or another. They'll make it out.
Where the fuck did you get that axe?
I have a bag of weapons in my corner. Don't mind.
Oh, our little LARPer. Our little LARPer, I love it. That's a nice axe.
I'm so disappointed to not be able to see this.
It's gonna be the one that kills me. So.
Alright. So she turns away from you momentarily, and she grabs another stack of documents, sets them on the lectern, and she puts the signet up and lights another candle, and she says, "Take care of yourselves, and good luck."
Thank you. Appreciate your help.
So, the two of you are led back out, and you are left to your own devices.
When we are out of earshot of the guards, I'm going to first of all look around to make sure there's no obvious gimbals or gimbal-like beings nearby, before turning to Ree. We're getting them out. Unfortunately, I think we're going to end up having to trust them to do so.
Trust who? Trust the Ore Master to do so?
Trust all of them. We're going to need to talk Gray into admitting what the fuck he did. We're going to need to trust the dwarves to give honor in this. We're going to have to trust Doc's spirit is strong enough to return.
Yeah.
Also, you've never heard Aurora use the words dwarf and honor in the same sentence?
She also said
in a
friend
negative
earlier.
way.
It's very, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And also said call them friends. Wait. You just called Gray your friend.
No, I called you a friend.
You don't have to trust me to get out of this. You have to trust Gray to do the right thing. You said friends. Aw, that's nice.
We're going to talk to Gray next, and we are going to convince him that owning up to it would be best for his self-preservation.
And we should probably grab the rest of the shit in case we need to run.
Absolutely.
Alright, let's go talk to my boyfriend. It's official now, you heard it.
You know, when this is all done, will you, assuming we're not horribly banished, or, just banished in general, we might be able to get more posters made and everything. This time making it truly official.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, give me 1 sec, y'all. Hey, thank you so much, Rose, for gifting that sub over to Came in the Sun. Came in the Sun, it is great to see you, my man. Great to see ya. How are you? Welcome in. I'm going to jump back over and chit-chat with these guys and get them going, but I just wanted to say thank you so much, and yeah, welcome on in. It is an absolute pleasure to have you, as always. Alright, so, as Aurora and Ree are making their way to the jail, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
Yep.
Gray, you've grown bored. Because, quite frankly, yeah, tea is great and biscuits are nice, but it is absolute bullshit that you've been thrown in jail again. So you find yourself laying on an actually, like, really comfortable... like a really comfortable cot. It's got a couple of feathered down pillows and blankets. You've been brought tea, biscuits, different dried meats and like fruit. There's like apricots and raisins and a couple of dates. And you had your fill. You laid down and you find yourself getting tired. You find yourself in a full-blown drift into sleep. And as you sleep, though it may not be for very long, whoops, whoa. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't even know what my percentage is at. There we go. This is why I gotta stop changing my damn push to talk when I play Hogwarts. So, you drift off to sleep, and you find yourself lying on a cold, dark, bog-like ground. It's uncomfortable, even for you, who is kind of one with the darkness. It's still an uncomfortable, cold, squishy ground. Above you is a pretty typical night sky, dark night. Clouds rolling here and there, kind of covering up the moonlight every once in a while, but for the most part clear. Stars as far as the eye could see. At the very reaches of your vision, you see a shadow form in the cosmos. Large. Two black, curling horns drip upwards in this milky, white and inky infused at the same time, shadowy display before turning completely to black. The shadow itself twists down towards you, kind of like a Chinese dragon spinning with this elongated body. As it writhes up in front of you, you realize that both wrists and both ankles have been bound to this bog-like earth, and you are forced to see this creature standing above you, now in full, normal, humanoid, and long, tilted-back horn fashion. It begins to speak.
Mr. Gray. Seems as if though you tried to play. I sense the darkness and dread of this dingy cell. Fear not, my boy. The guardsmen will rot in hell. For you, however, there is much more to be done. Just because the dark is dead doesn't deny us our fun. I've brought a couple of friends from a realm that remains unseen. Just know that their fun can be... unclean. They're yours to call, direct, or dismiss. Understand, though, that they may be pissed. See, they're here because of me and me alone. Only possible with the death of that fucking gnome. Call out to them when the shadows are darkest. If you're lucky, you'll even call the harpist. Direct them to do what you will, especially if you mean someone ill. Consequences from their deeds can be most dire. Thankfully, Mr. Gray, I'm aware you're a great liar. So do with them what you will or won't, Mr. Gray. Call them forth, for only a single day.
I can't hear you if you're speaking, Xavier.
Yep, I muted my mic, sorry. With that, you lurch forward, awake on the prime material plane in your cell. Only an hour at max has passed. You look around and you see 3 small shadows jumping around the room from corner to corner, bouncing back and forth. Though not taking on any sort of material form at this point, you feel yourself in a cold sweat. You look down and realize you are soaked from head to toe in your own sweat, still warm from the nightmare. What would you like to do?
Okay, so first off, that was awesome. Giggling like a little child.
Yeah, but speaking of little child, by the way, those creepy ass fucking demonic giggles, that was my children.
Yeah, I'll never sleep again.
Yep.
Never hear them laugh the same way again.
I'm just the door's gonna be locked at night.
I'm gonna cancel my visit. You'll have.
Yeah. Yeah, as they're knocking on the door, Mr. Gray,
They will.
Mr. Gray.
Yes, they will.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, so I guess I'll look at the shadows and I guess analyze them.
Okay, go ahead and make a make an Arcana check. Okay, give me 1 sec. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, these creatures move with a horrifically unnatural amount of speed. As you see them bouncing between the shadows, whatever the hell they are, and you cannot see their physical form, they're moving so fucking fast that you can't get a true glimpse of them. They almost look like balls of shadow that when they appear in the light, you can see a very small, I'm talking tiny size, so between about 8 inches and 1.5 feet tall, humanoid bodies that are extremely thin, almost like they were skeletal, but you can definitely tell they have flesh. Their skin is light blue, but the shadow, as they move, makes them literally just look like a fleeting shadow on the wall. There are 3 of them, and they bounce throughout the entirety of the room, fast. As you start to think about it, and with the knowledge you've gained over the years with your mentor actually being your mentor, and with the little cackles that you hear, or that you swear you hear as they bounce, you identify these creatures as quicklings. Though they're not normal quicklings, they appear to have been touched by shadow in some way, shape, or form, as normal quicklings cannot call shadows in around them, and these ones are doing it. They don't seem to, necessarily be under your control per se, but they are definitely here in some sort of physical form and trying not to be seen by you. But you see them, and you identify them. Things you know about quicklings. 1, they're usually from the Feywild, though that's not always the case, especially when they're potentially infused with some sort of other energy or magic. 2, they are typically very, very evil fucking creatures, and they get raw, unadulterated pleasure from others' misery. 3, they're fast as fuck, boy.
They're faster than fast as fuck, boy. Hate them. Hate them so much.
They are very fast.
Oh, damn it. I've been given great power, but I don't know what to do with it.
And to be clear,
I only have it for a day.
so
At least that's the phrase.
make an intelligence check for me. Okay. The only helpful advice I can give you from what just transpired, as far as your mentor talking to you, is that it did not seem like you had to use this gift today. It was when you decide to begin calling on these creatures you have 1 day with them and that's it. Now, you don't know how long they're going to hang around in this realm and wait for that day, but when you do it, you've got 24 hours.
I think for now, I guess I don't know if I ignore them is the correct term, but I'm not going to ignore them. Correct.
Okay. They make mischief. They're not like fucking with anybody outside the cell, but like once in a while you'll feel like, you know, something really cold like touch your face, and you'll look over and you'll see like a shadow just zip past you. The remainder of the tea and biscuits and jerky and whatnot that's been laid out, like you'll glance over towards it, and then you're like, I swear there was 4 biscuits left, and then you glance over again, and then there's now only 2, and then there's 2 and, you know, like 2.5, but one's got a bite taken out of it. You're like, what the fuck? It's like just little things like that. They're zipping around and they have got a lot of energy. And the whole time you're hearing those like pseudo-demonic giggles kind of echoing from around you. No guards seem to hear those giggles.
Awesome. I love this. On a side note, Gray is kind of childish. I would absolutely like to. I don't know if I'd be using them. I hope not. But I guess I'd like to experiment. Maybe have a cookie in hand and see if they can grab it, or
Oh,
have some fun with it.
yeah. Okay, so you reach down and you pick a biscuit up. Give me a sec. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you grab like a half of one of the biscuits sitting there, and you kind of like hold it out in front of you, and you see one shadow zip past your hand, and literally there's a trail of crumbs in the air that splashes onto the ground, and about a quarter of that half breaks off and just hits the ground. You're like, whoa. As you're looking down at the crumbs hitting the ground, you look back and you're not holding a cookie anymore. It's gone. You didn't even feel it.
In that case, I guess trying not to use them, we're just gonna have some fun with them. Because he's bored and wants to do something.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Make an animal handling check. And I know this sounds crazy. Yes, these are potentially sentient creatures that are above a normal animalistic intelligence. However, because they're chaotic evil, they are essentially animals. So make an animal handling check for me.
Okay, I'm not too bad.
No, it's charisma based. Oh, no, it's wisdom based. Well, that's alright. We'll see what happens. Don't roll a 1. Oh, a nat fucking 20. Shut up.
I love that it's for stupid shit. I love it.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you, but just know that I have noted your nat 20 on animal handling pack of quicklings. God damn, you guys. I swear, that's what I was just... Fast as fuck cats. Yeah, I am your god now. Alright, Rhea and Aurora, you arrive at the jail. It's about 7:30 p.m. at this point, probably maybe even 8. Sun's starting to go down, like really starting to go down over the mountains. Torches are starting to be lit, lanterns are going up over the city. But you do arrive at the jail and you enter. What would you like to do?
Yeah, we'd like to speak to Mr. Gray, please.
The old man, the old dwarven man, kind of looks down over the counter and he goes, "Oh."
Hello? Hi. Yeah, may we speak with Mr. Gray? The beautiful dark-eyed man?
His eyes go wide. Oh, Gray. Right. Yeah, I'll just, give me a couple of picks and we'll come back and see you in just a minute. And he, like, jumps down and kind of starts to walk towards the rear of the room.
Had to give him a second.
Was he speaking Dwarvish? I know Dwarvish, but I can't.
So the best you guys could surmise is that he was speaking like a very old dialect of Dwarven, and it was just enough for you to understand, but like it's like those, it's like an old Southern woman, you know what she's saying, but just fucking barely.
Slang.
Yeah, it's bad. So he comes back to the counter after 5 or 6 minutes, and he pops up and he goes, "Oh, is that right? I'm going to get you straight over there." And he points towards the door and he says, "Oh, you just wait, and they'll come over and give you a pick and go straight and back in ya."
Yeah.
I assume someone's here to see.
Yeah, so Gray, at this point,
What he just said.
Yes, we're going over there and we're going to wait.
Okay.
They can show up if they want. I'm surprised they haven't left yet.
so, yeah, Gray, there's a guard who comes in, one of the younger guys, and he says, "Mr. Gray, I believe you've got some visitors here to see you. They're right back over there, is that right, if we bring them in?" It's the goblin, and I think she was a halfling at some point. I don't know what the fuck happened to her, to be honest with you. The one with the, the face.
Yeah, be careful. She's a bit strange. Weird magic-y stuff.
Oh,
But yeah, they can come on in. I'm surprised they're here anyway.
well, I mean, maybe we've got friends in high places. We'll see. Be right back. And he turns and begins to walk away. So, Gray, at this point...
They're very low, thank you.
Gray, at this point, with your weird animal handling of these quicklings, you managed to successfully time their jumps between the cookies and the next one coming in to fuck with the cookies, to where you go through it probably 6, 7, 8, 9 times over the course of about 45 minutes. But as you hear this guard approaching, you take the last little crumb of cookie you have, and now there are just crumbs all over the damn floor. I mean, the whole thing, it looks literally like you just picked them up, crumbled them, and threw them on the floor. But you've got the last decent chunk. As you hold it up, you get the timing in your head, and it's like fractiles of seconds, but you've mastered it so fast that as it happens, you reach out and you fucking snatch one of the quicklings. You grab it, I mean, literally full force, and as it stops, it wiggles around in your hand for about 6 or 7 seconds before finally biting the shit out of your hand, breaking free, and zipping around the room. But you successfully manage to pinpoint their timing and how they jump.
Okay, that brought back memories. Holy okay, sorry, side story real quick. When I was a kid, there was this one horror movie with this weird, like, beige-ish demon with hands in its eyes, and there were fairies flying around. And whenever it would like try and catch the fairies, and then it would eat them.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that was the weird satyr dude, wasn't it, with the eyes? Yeah. What the fuck? Big mouth that's...
Yeah. It was definitely Pan's Labyrinth.
Yep, Pan's Labyrinth. That is a terrifying... You're right, that's a throwback. What a terrifying movie.
Good thing I don't eat quickly.
Yeah. Oh, well, you
No.
had... Okay. Yeah, okay, good. Fast as fuck, boy.
I played that movie for my wife, thinking it was going to be like a nice, like kind of lighthearted fantasy type of movie. It was not.
No, it was one of the darkest fantasy movies I think I've ever seen, outside of, like, the fucking Last Unicorn.
That scarred me. I remember it in full detail. So
Alright,
anyway, yeah, that was fun.
so you grab it, it bites your hand, doesn't hurt you, but it bites you enough to let it go, and then you get a better visual, and then you start to see, oh, they are little blue-skinned fairy creatures. No wings, they can't fly, but it sure as hell looks like they can fly. Alright, on that note, Aurora, the gate to the rear of the jail pops open. The younger of the guards steps out, and he looks at Aurora, and he says, "Oh, excuse me, miss. Could you please put your hands out for me?"
Is something wrong?
"Oh, no, not at all. I'm just going to peace bond your hands. We've been told that you have fancy magics, and we need to make sure that you're not going to try anything silly back here." No offense. It's just, it's part of our regulations. And you see on his belt, he's got a pair of, like, big, heavy, brown, like, leather mittens.
Aurora looks Doree, and it's obvious for just a second, just because Ree's, known her for however many weeks we've been together, that she is considering not friendly things for just a moment, and then she
Just
grits her
ignore it.
teeth
It's okay.
and she holds out her hands.
So he very pleasantly, he takes the mittens off, and they're like, yeah, Lucy, like, they're just like big, heavy, brown mittens, and he slips them over your hand, and it essentially restricts your hand. I mean, it feels like you're wearing cuffs, but they're clearly leather. They're comfy on the inside, nice and warm. A little uncomfortable for you nowadays. But he cinches them off with a metal band, so it'll be really hard to get them off, and you feel that your hands are just they're fucking stuck. You can still move your arms and everything, but your fingers are stuck. So, anytime you have a spell, if you attempt to cast it with these things on that require somatic components, you cannot cast that spell. You have lost all use of your somatic components.
I will say, just because Aurora's not super happy about this, she is going to kind of reflect, like, flare the talons before it goes on, just to make a point, just a little bit. But she's not fighting. It's not a threatening thing. It's more of a draw attention kind of thing.
Okay, give me a sec. Let's see. Oh, he doesn't even notice it. That was a nat 1 on his perception.
Fucking dwarves.
In what language?
She's not saying.
Oh, okay, no, it's okay. It's like, as the mitten comes off, you catch an elbow to the chin. No. Like, man, you guys really don't like Underhill all of a sudden.
You get thrown in the jail instead.
Yeah. Okay, so the mittens go on, and he says, "Thank you so much for your participation. We'll take them off, I promise you, as soon as we get you out of here, and you have unadulterated access to your friend. Follow me, please." And he takes you down a single hallway with 7 cells in it, brings you down to the very end on the right-hand side, and in the cell, you find Gray. And he does not let you into the cell, but he says, "Just give me a whistle. I'll give you some privacy. If you just give me a whistle, I'll be down at the end of the hall." And he turns and he walks all the way down to the end of the hall, and he sits down in a stool.
These are my friends. I expected you have to be gone by now with Doc Block.
What did you do, man?
Got Aurora some gloves, apparently.
Yeah, they look really comfortable.
From across the hall, in the cell opposite of Gray, you hear... He said, "Yeah, get her fucking gloves." Excuse me. Oh, sorry, I'll see myself to the corner. And you see this, like, absolutely massive catfish, beer belly looking dwarven bastard with this huge, bulbousy, red, swollen nose. Very clearly he's got a problem with liquor. Gets up, waddles himself to the corner, and sits down facing the corner.
I like that.
Nice. So, what the fuck, man? First question, what the fuck?
Fuck what?
Second question,
What
why
the
the
fuck, what the fuck?
didn't you tell us?
Sorry, say that again, Cat.
Oh, after Reed's first question, what the fuck, Aurora said, second question, why the fuck didn't you tell us? Only she's keeping her voice kind of low.
Yeah, we're definitely whispering as best we can.
Because why tell you? You had nothing to do with it. Also, let's be
Because
honest, the
maybe we
reaction-
could have kept your ass out of here.
I sincerely doubt it. Secondly, your reaction in town is exactly why I asked.
Yeah, but still, why would you want him dead?
I mean, I wanted him dead.
Why?
I told Doc, I don't know. However, I thought I was doing, well, somewhat of a good deed. That'll teach me. So what have you two been up to after you grabbed my wallet?
I don't know, we're trying to get money to bring Doc back.
Didn't I have enough?
You did. Yeah.
You did.
Hope he didn't want those.
We sold quite a few of the things from what I'm presuming is from the camp in order to be able to help with your potential fine. So, the short version, this is probably going to end up going to a trial. You are likely to be brought up on charges of contracting an assassin, attempted assassination things. It's going to go one of two ways. They are either going to be relatively lenient to banish us and we never have to deal with these dwarves again, or they're going to, well, look, you will be killed. Doc will face the same penalty. Either she gets banished or brought back and then killed again. Obviously, the second of the options is not going to happen. So what you are going to do, Mr. Gray, is you're going to tell them what the fuck you did. You're going to speak plainly, not talk around it, not be ambiguous, not be, just tell the truth so we can get out of here and we can go and bring Doc back and then go and save Reed's family.
I was planning on doing so anyway. I learned
good.
my lesson at attempting to do, well, good, or hiring assassins. So
Yeah, but it
there's
wasn't.
definitely quotation marks in that, yeah.
But what's good about murdering that guy? We just had a fight. He punched me a couple times. I punched him a couple times. Did he
That's not-
like
That's
do something to
that's-
you?
That's what you see, Ree. From the stands, if I recall correctly, you were holding back, punching, well, didn't knock out, and you did. You won. He not only did not do that, but he very much impaled you on a spike and did nearly kill you. Also, all the other guards. I don't care that much about the menagerie of insults. I'm not one to get insulted. But I've also heard that he ripped someone's nose off once. Consistent, and if he fought others like he fought you, he's absolutely killed more people. So, what to do with someone that wishes to kill? Kill.
Even for a dwarf, he's a particularly vile individual.
I'd barely call him a person as is.
I already said he was a dwarf.
You should probably not say that out loud in this vicinity, please.
Or
Well,
what? They're gonna end up putting leather gloves and cuffs on me?
Well, you could be my cellmate, and that would be even worse for me. I'm actually pretty fun.
We
Pretty
could
great in
get
here.
we could get so close together. Have a
Hey,
proper
listen, if we get you out of all this and just maybe talk to us about this next time, man. I mean, like, we
There
coulda-
won't be a next time. I will not be hiring assassins again,
oh, okay.
especially ours. Also, she owes me a lot.
Because she's terrible at what she does.
Yeah, that's all
She
gone.
paid with her life. You're not going to go after her for that money. You're the reason she's there and didn't have us backing her up.
She had a choice to decline. I didn't force her into it. In fact, she said she wanted to as well. She
The
would've
fuck does
done it if
everybody
I
want to
hadn't.
kill this guy? God,
Yeah,
guys.
we all did, other than Ray. Sorry, Ray.
I mean, he's just a pit fighter. He fucking, that's his job. He did his job to beat people up.
Well, no, that
Did
wasn't
he
his
hold
original
back
job.
at all against you?
Oh no.
If
That was the risk. That was the risk I was willing to take. I saw the spikes on the side of the thing. I could have said, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. But I fought him, and I didn't want to. I could have killed him too if I wanted to, but I didn't. But that's on me.
because
And
you're a
that's
better person.
I still don't think he deserved to die.
That's because you are you, Ree. I am not.
He's also the kind of vindictive bastard that would be the type to say, go after your family or the people that you care about because he was insulted at his defeat.
I mean, You know, so I guess I did think that's what the scenario was. I was convinced that was scenario.
It's probably why he was as brutal as he was.
Yes. And his history kind of proves it. He got kicked out of a monastery after all for violence.
He did? How do you know that?
Our favorite tavern innkeeper told us.
Oh wait, did he tell me?
You were way too drunk for that read.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. I don't even remember the barkeep's name.
So regardless, we should be able to get this done with quickly if
Joke's on you, I never gave it.
if you plead guilty to this, admit freely, don't drag out the trial thing.
Well, no
Yeah.
promises on the not dragging it out, but...
Hey, no, I need you to promise that shit because we gotta save my fucking family in Poodoo. And we need you with us.
Or we could just leave you to rot here and take all of the money to get you out of it.
No.
I'm surprised you haven't done so already. That's what I half expected. Seeing as... Well...
I'm like, come on, man, I wouldn't do that to you. I mean, well... Aurora might, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, but you're kind of easily persuaded. Had
Yeah, I
you
guess
brought
you're right.
Doc back, I'm sure her and Aurora...
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I keep waiting for Ree to get offended,
I
and
know
every
she
time she's just like, no, you're right. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking gullible.
You really didn't dare.
It's the truth.
You paid her to kill him.
She said she would have done it without payment. She would have done it...
You put her into that situation. We could have gone together and done it as a group.
And I told her to wait. She's the one that went on her own. In fact, I was offering assistance.
That's not true.
Couldn't she just have taken a shit?
I assumed that's what she was
Kinda
doing
did.
that night.
Okay, you did too. Alright, so I'm not so crazy.
Everything all right down there? Getting kind of loud. If you could just keep it down for me, please.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, keep it down, Aurora.
Lucy taking an inspiration point.
That was a short joke.
Witty one-liners, they just get me.
Mr. Gray, whether you choose to accept responsibility or not, if you had not contracted her, you would not be in here. She might still be dead, but you would not be in here. That is your...
You cut out, Cat.
Yeah, that's because my phone started ringing, because of course it is. She said, whether you choose to accept responsibility or not, Mr. Gray, you are in here because you chose to contract her. If she had gone off on her own to do this, she may still be in the position she's in, but you are here because of your actions. Do not try and pin that on her.
Suddenly,
True.
Gray, you feel circles of darkness kind of swell around you as if you're starting to have a form of tunnel vision. And you hear,
Yes, Mr. Gray. Now, let the quicklings out to play.
and the tunnel vision.
Okay. Gray isn't that mad. I don't think I want to use the quick ones just yet.
You do not feel compelled. Just so you know, you do not feel compelled at all. This is just straight up DM suggestion.
I do have an idea for him for brewing, but not yet. Yes, I fully accept that. But as I said, I thought I was doing, well, a service. Good. For once. And I see that I should not. So, my mistake.
Well, Listen, Gray. I thank you for trying to. I don't know what you're exactly trying to do necessarily, but thank you for trying to protect my honor. I guess. I mean, I'm serious. Thank you for trying to protect my honor. I do. It was nice of you, and it was a nice gesture, and I appreciate that very much. But yeah, man, dude, next time, just let us know, man. I know you're not gonna do it next time, but just saying, if it happens again, just let us in on this, and we'll try to talk about it.
I don't think you would have fought him if I talked about it.
Well, no, I would have tried to convince you not to. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Anyway, what else do you guys want? I'm kind of done with this discussion.
Yeah, we're gonna take the rest of your stuff, I think, in case we need to break you out of here.
Honestly, I'm half expecting them to either, as you said, either I get let off with a fine, or, well, I don't know what the exact punishment is, but death.
It said they're gonna crush you in the town square.
That is.
I'm pretty sure you'd crush me if I give you the option.
Yeah, I would.
So not much of a change.
Don't like that.
No, I mean like they're gonna put rocks on you until you die.
It does sound unpleasant.
Right. So I think that's the downside of this whole thing. So we're not gonna let that happen.
I don't think it's going to come to that. It is the Ore Master's discretion for this. Now,
Well, what happens, happens.
and they know what we've done. Unfortunately, you're because this is the second time that you've ended up in here. It's not going to go quite as well. But if you spin a compelling story, make it a believable performance, they may
Tell a story or tell the truth?
both.
Tell the truth with all the gusto that you usually do with all your stories.
But I thought you didn't want me to stall for time.
Well, I don't, but I'm just saying, like, just fucking play with our heartstrings, man. I don't know. Use your charisma. Your chutzpah.
Alright, I'll see that.
You already have most of their attention. They like you. You've done well. Play on that. Remind them of what you've done, what Doc's done. Get out of here safely. Free. Yep, just free.
Free? Question mark.
Do it for me, baby.
Gray's gonna actually step back after that one. Alright.
Listen, you did this originally for me anyway. So just do this one thing for me again, and it's less painful to do it this way than to do it the other way.
Just finishing the job.
Yeah. And then we'll leave, and we'll never come back here again. And listen, if we find Butt Chin on the road again in the future, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want with him. I mean, it's just, we're done with this guy. We're done with this town. We gotta go.
You can say that again.
Now, there's one thing I am slightly concerned about. The Ore Master came down with some illness from the food that our ogre friend prepared.
Ha! That's hilarious.
Any other day, I would agree with you, but we need him well. I offered to help, but we're forbidden from having contact because, we associate with known gestures in your direction.
Okay, why are you telling me this? I can't do anything about kind of, he's gonna point to the bars. Occupied.
Because you hear things, and I'm sure that you get word out anyway, and you are always listening. So maybe it's another piece of the puzzle that'll fit into something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being civil.
It's actually a really good fucking point.
No, you're not the civil type.
Aurora, make a perception check, please.
Yeah, okay.
The session's already going not how I expected. I expected to be.
Their sheet is loading.
Say if you need to, because I know you're driving, I can throw your dice for you if you need.
I think she has the app on her phone.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, 11. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, not great. Is there anything that you would like us to do for you?
Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We have some time before Xavier comes in the morning. I know it's getting late, but well, we're not behind bars at the moment. So, is there anything you need us to see if we can get to you, or anyone you want us to talk to, or I don't know?
Well, worst case scenario, I'm gonna need another resurrection scroll. Or the like.
You are not that rich, friend.
Do you want like a sandwich or something?
I can get that on my own. They've given me quite a bit.
Yeah, Rhea, like as he says that, you kind of like glance around at the bottom of the cell, and there's like a full silver tea tray with a silver and porcelain blended teapot, 2 cups, both of which have been drank out of, a plate that clearly had some sort of cookies. There's also crumbs all over the fucking interior of the cell, like everywhere. It's like he took a handful of cookies, crumpled them, and just threw it up in the air.
You're a really messy eater, man.
I got bored.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that go.
I have a question.
So you smash your cookies against. Okay, oh, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I probably would have eaten them if you didn't want them.
I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna take the rest of your stuff, and we're gonna hold on to it, and then when we get out of here, you're gonna get it all back, and then we're gonna get the fuck out with your head still on your shoulders or not squished under a shit ton of rocks, and we're gonna go to Pudu, and we're gonna save my family. Okay. Okay, wait. Stay pretty.
I'll try.
Okay. So Aurora and Rhea, you begin to turn and walk away. You see the guard hop up off the stool, and he approaches you, and he kind of like walks behind you towards the door. As soon as you get on the outside of the exterior door, he turns and he says, "Oh, I'll go ahead and take the mittens from you now, if that's all right."
I think they look kind of nice.
Aurora's gonna give a look to Rhea and then hold out her hands.
Are they comfortable?
They are comfy as fuck. As you give that look, and then you like look back, he begins to uncinch the iron bands that are kind of holding the wrists. And as that happens, Aurora, you feel as he pulls them off, his pinky kind of grazes your palm on the left-hand side where your scales are. And you kind of look up instinctually like, what the fuck was that? And you see him kind of like gazing into your eyes. And he smiles and he says, "I just want you to know that I, regardless of what anybody else thinks, do truly believe that you are a beautiful creature."
Aurora's going to actively bite her tongue to not say her instinctive retorts in the middle of the jail when we're trying to get our people out.
Which would be, I'm gay! No, I'm kidding. He takes the mittens though and he says, "Alright, well, you already know where the front of the what the building is. If you need to come back, just make sure that you ask for Gray, and if not, we'll see you hopefully at court. I really hope this all gets solved. I miss his performances." Alright, bye. And he closes the door, and that's the last you see of him. So, you two head out onto the main thoroughfare on the street, which is just outside the jail here, right by the House of the Dwarflord Inn. Are you two going back to the tavern, or what would you like to do? Excuse me, it's an inn, not a tavern.
Fuck. All we can do is wait now, right?
Unless you want to see if your friend is around.
Who? Gimbal?
Unless, do you think there's anything that he could do to assist here?
Oh shit, we forgot to get all the stuff from Gray.
Fine, I've got the black hole. That's most of it.
I just wanted to get all the rest of the shit because I mean he might want it. He might want his drum. Right. Alright, I'm gonna go back in and grab a shit.
We're
Unless
not
we-
separating.
What? I'm just going back into the
We
building right
are.
here.
Until we know where the fuck that bastard is, we are not separating.
Alright, fine, then come with me. I'm just going back inside this building.
Okay.
Alright. Let's go back inside. Oh, hey, I forgot to grab all of Mr. Gray's shit.
So-
sorry, it's me again.
The old guy at the counter.
Different connotation. You want to grab his belongings.
Yeah.
Grabbing his shit has a very different meaning.
Oh. Yeah, no, I don't want to grab his doo-doo. I just want to grab his stuff.
The old man behind the counter, he
Not
kind
his
of
penis, but his gear.
he looks more and more disturbed as you continue, and he at one point he puts a hand out and he just goes, "All right, I'm not okay, but or just give me a moment to figure out what the fuck you're talking about, like dick slapping, or going in back and grab shit and for throwing it and that. Some sort of ape. No, just give me alright, okay." And he steps off the stool and he walks out of the little entryway processing table.
Is that what I sounded like to him just now?
That's what you sound like to a lot of people a lot of times.
Fuck, really?
Well, no, you sound better because, well, you're a goblin.
Well, I mean, you're a very racist person.
I am not.
She do be racist, though. Okay, so Gray, a couple minutes goes by after they leave. You're like, okay, chillin'. You see the shadows, which were sitting very suspiciously still while people were talking to you, now begin to, like, cocaine level bounce around the room. A door or a shadow appears in the door in the cellway. It does not appear to be anything magical or special in nature. It's just a dwarf. But he looks in and he says, "Excuse me, Mr. Gray. Your friends, they just popped outside, came back in, and apparently I believe there was a little bit of a translation issue. Normally, the goblin said she wanted to take handfuls of your shit and leave with it. We refused that, of course, in the paperwork, but she then clarified with the help of your draconic friend. Excuse me. And she said they wanted to take all of your belongings. Do I have permission to give them 100% of your belongings? Or would you like me to tell them to go kick shit?"
As tempting as the second one is, they can take it. Also, you can call the draconic one a little lizard if you like. She likes it when you do that.
Make a persuasion check. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
I'm gonna end up in jail, damn it.
Don't even roll the advantage. You just shut your fucking mouth. He goes, all right, no problem. I'll take him out and I'll give him everything that you got. All right. So the younger guy, the door opens and he comes out. Give me one moment here. I'm opening a character sheet. Oh, Jesus Christ, you've got so much shit. All right. So this guy comes out, and he is holding a massive bundle of just all of Gray's shit. He lays it down. You see the war drum. There's some scrolls. There's flasks of oil, a water skin. You've already got the portable hole. There is leather armor. He's got a medallion. There's a couple of notes, some holy water, the key to the tavern, a dagger. There's 4 big diamonds, a hand drum, the lantern of revealing, a piece of azurite. He sets it all down. And this poor sweet little guy, as he lays it all down in front of you, and Lucy, I don't know if you want to take like a screenshot and send it to whoever, Kat and Ree, whoever, Kat and Kevin, whoever's going to take it, it's fine by me. But he sets it down, he looks up at Aurora, and he goes, everything you requested, sweet little lizard. And he stands up, and he turns, and he walks back through the door.
Aurora is just going to just... She's reaching for her bow before she realizes it, but she stops herself before it's like even leaves her shoulder. And just... I'm gonna murder Gray. And absolutely under her breath.
Make an insight check.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cute. I like Little Lizard.
I think that's 9.
Okay. Yeah, there's a 50-50 shot that was a Gray implanted suggestion and not a this guy, because he's never even used an L in anything he's said to you. But it definitely sounds like something Gray would use to fuck with you.
Oh, yeah. 100%. That's obviously a Grayism.
Okay, so he lays it all down. You guys grab the satchel. Again, everything in Gray's inventory currently standing, as I have just shown it, is now in your possession. Do with it what you will. You exit the jail, and I'm assuming at this point you guys are heading back to the house the dwarf lord in?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, and I'm just throwing everything into the bag temporarily. Yep. It's going to end up going straight back to Gray.
Understood. It's just, it is now in quote-unquote protective custody. Yeah. Okay, on that note, Gray. So.
Father, I crave chaos.
Oh god. So, the shadows are bouncing around the room. Suddenly, you feel something cold hit your left hand. You feel something cold hit your right hand. And you hear in a very quick and aggressive common.
Master, take. We take for you. We clear everything. We take for you. This is for you. We take from your friend. Don't you worry. Open.
And that all happens within those few seconds, and you look down, and suddenly you are holding a small flask filled with a potion that is a clear, like a translucent red liquid with tiny bubbles of light drifting upwards from the bottom to the top. It appears that about a third of the flask has already been drank. In your left hand, that was in your right hand. In your left hand, you find what appears to you to be a singular vial of a syrupy red liquid. Make an Arcana check for me as we move forward from here. God damn, you are cheating. No, I'm not. I'm not. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. You do. Yes. Your Pathfinder was bad to you. Don't you worry. DM Xavier's got you. Okay, so as you look down, and you kind of like look the two things that have just been forced into your possession, you realize that the one in your left hand is a potion of healing, though you're not sure where the fuck the Quickling got it. But in your right hand is Ree's Elixir of Health with 2 charges remaining in it. And you are 100% confident because you watched Ree drink this once. So you have an Elixir of Health with 2 charges in it and a potion of healing. And just for reference, obviously there would be a metagaming issue if you noted it in the future, but just so you know, yes, Kevin and Kat, you've had something removed from your inventory.
Well,
And-
I can open up my inventory now. I'm home, finally.
Yeah, hi Kat. Love the earrings, by the way. So the Elixir of Health, you do know what it does. It cures any disease afflicting you, and also removes blind, deaf, paralyzed, and poison conditions when you consume it. And there are 2 charges of it in this flask. And then the shadows, after that happens, and you hear the broken common speak out to you, they continue to just, like, cocaine level bounce around the room. It's like you gave a kid a pixie stick, a toddler a pixie stick, and said, go. Nope. So you do not feel like you have commanded them. This has happened on its own.
I know, but now I don't feel like I want to use them. I was going to.
Oh.
What healing potion was it? Just a regular?
Yep, just a standard.
I mean, you don't have to use them. You can. Your best person that we don't know is gone.
No, it's mine now.
Hey, isn't that my fucking Elixir of Health? Where did you get that? Yeah. Yay, I'm not blind.
See how that goes when I pull out your drum.
All right, so, Gray, that happens. Do you have any reaction to the Quicklings?
I was gonna say, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Probably the best news I've ever had.
They don't respond. They continue to bounce around the room, and you feel like the cold brush past your face as your hair kind of tussles in the wind.
So, if this is a Lucy to Zager thing. Do I know that if I use one, I have to use them all in a day?
Okay. Yes. It's the Quickling thing. Okay, so the way this works, based on especially because the animal handling you rolled earlier, and your Arcana, which give you information about them, and your knowledge about what was said to you, even though it was cryptic, if you give one of them a command, you're giving the entire pack a command. And you have 24 hours for them to take commands from you. And they're fast as fuck. And there's 3 of them.
I'm gonna keep them for now.
Ooh, I know. And by the way, just as a out-of-game reference, the reason why that just happened is only because you rolled a nat 20 on your fucking animal handling check. That is the only reason why that happened. So, excellent roll. Oh, K-R, you got... Oh, okay, I gotcha.
I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot what it was.
That's okay. Just let me know if you think of it. Okay, so, Kat and Kevin, so Ree and Aurora, you find yourselves back in the House of the Dwarf Lord Inn. You enter, you are greeted with the familiar aroma of absolutely wonderfully delicious. Actually, tonight they're having a basmati rice with chicken meatballs and a masala curry. And with that is served huge loaves of freshly baked sourdough bread. And that's being served up. Everybody is eating and enjoying. You walk in, you take your food, whether you eat it here or in your room is your choice, but you have arrived back in the tavern. In the inn, excuse me. I know, I'm sorry. I swear to God, at least once, every player I've ever had in my entire life as a DM has said, why do you do your food descriptions the way you do? And I said, because hunger.
I have not eaten recently, and damn.
I'm sorry.
That's all
I
have
didn't.
to say, just damn.
I didn't mean to do it. I did a little bit. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
I know.
Why not?
Okay. I failed my fucking deception check. So you are back in the tavern. People are going about their business. They're milling about. You guys still have your room for the foreseeable future. So what would you like to do? And if you are interested in just progressing time until tomorrow morning, that is also an option.
I think for Ree's part, yeah, she just wants to get some food and turn in. She just wants this day to fucking be over at this point.
Aurora is going to insist on watches because we don't know where the fuck this murderous bastard is.
Yeah, all right, that makes sense. Let's do it. You take first watch. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, so you guys go back to the room. Ree, you find yourself quickly drifting off to sleep as Aurora takes first watch. Aurora, go ahead and give me a perception check. And is there anything particular that you're looking for or looking out for?
Well, there's no reason that anyone should be coming down the hallway to our room. So that door's locked. She's very much just locked and loaded on that door. But I do have a weird action that I'm going to do as Aurora as well.
Okay.
At some point, she's going to try and pray to Garl Glittergold.
Okay.
That right now.
Give me a religion check, and once you roll the die, go ahead and give me your prayer. You guys, you guys know how I do religion, and I love it.
Yeah, no, Aurora's not religious, so this will be real interesting.
Yeah,
Or
that's
not
why
exactly.
I was really curious about how this... If you roll a nat 20, I swear to God. Okay, here's your connection to Doc. Doc, go.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Doc,
Ooh,
Doc
no.
failed me.
Okay, so what is the prayer? Like, how do you try to reach out to Garl?
There's glass applesauce glitter in your eye.
So it's going to be a little bit of that, you know, the little kid that, like, knows they're supposed to be praying, but, like, has no real connection to the deity at all. It's a little bit of that vibe. So it's the, like, it's all completely silent. There is no, like, formal kneeling or anything like that. It's just trying to send the thoughts up. And it's similar to how she does to Meebo, but more up and vaguely towards the temple, where Doc/temple is. It's going to be so Garl Glittergold. I don't know how to address you. I'm not going to start crisscross applesauce glittering my eyeing towards you.
That's what you're supposed to do.
You're.
She's asleep.
Ree wakes up just
I
for
know.
that.
I know, Doc's gotta be up there, over there. I don't know. Gotta be with you. Because I know that you know how devoted she is to you. So just, when we go and bring her back tomorrow, when we try, a little bit of good luck so she can keep doing glittery things, that would be... We could really use some good luck.
Okay, so your roll was trash, but what you just said was pretty fucking convincing and extremely relevant to the specific deity and the character involved in said deity. So I will say this. So during my resurrections and the way my resurrection processes work, you guys know, you should know this because I share it openly. So when a PC dies, he or she can have 3 tokens, gifts, or other things added to a ritual that has to be performed from either a party member or an NPC. Each successful addition adds 5% success to the ritual, and each failure adds 5% away from the ritual succeeding. I'm going to call this a stalemate as far as that success and that prayer is concerned. However, because you made it so personalized, Aurora, I'm going to grant you an inspiration point. Do with that what you will. You do not feel a connection, you do not feel a pathway to a divine entity opening, but internally, you are confident that what you did was maybe just the right thing, regardless of whether or not it worked. So, with that being said, Kat, go ahead and give me a perception check, please. This is for your watch.
At least it's double digits this time.
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. So, the first chunk of your watch goes by, and there is not a hair out of place. Ree tosses and turns and farts quite a lot, as is typical of Ree. But besides that, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot that goes on that freaks you out. You peek out the door a couple of times, but it's just people going to rooms before you. So your watch ends. You wake Ree up without issue. Ree, you have benefited from a full rest, and Aurora drifts peacefully to sleep. Anything from you, Ree?
Yeah, no, Ree's just kind of sitting up in her bed, and I guess she'll be playing the music box that Doc had given her. It's kind of idly, kind of almost doing the same thing, like kind of idly talking to Garl. I'm like, Garl, my boy, need you tomorrow. We got a lot of shit we need luck for. So if you can kind of give us some of that sweet stank glitter, that'd be great.
Okay.
Applesauce glitter in your eye.
So, make a religion check for me, and add the equivalent of a bless to it, as you were playing the only token that has ever been given out by Doc's racial bonus as a gnome, which is to tinker for you a music box. So you will take the equivalent of a bless. So 1d20 plus your religion, and a d4.
Okay.
D4!
D4.
God damn you, Lucy.
Okay.
Whoa! That is a really good religion. Oh my god! That is a fucking success. A 20. Okay. Give me a sec, I gotta take a note here.
I got him listening. Shut up for
I softened the god up for you, don't worry.
Yeah.
Prime
I loosened the top of the jar. Okay, so Ree, as you're talking, you're just kind of like nonsense talking. You're just like babbling and like, okay, yeah, but it's the fucking music box over and over and over and over, and eventually, everything around you just kind of drones out, and you hear in your mind that kind of snaps you back to reality, which is what brings you into the focus of, oh shit, it's morning. Aurora, get up. You hear, what a beautiful music box. Okay, I'll help a little, but not too much. And the voice fades, and then you're like, oh fuck, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh shit. Aurora, wake the fuck up.
Oh god, if you wake her up like that, she wakes up with like arrow already on the bowstring before her eyes even open.
It's breakfast time.
And then you hear breakfast and everything is good again. Well, almost everything.
I'm going to have a conversation about how you wake people up so you don't get goblin shish kebabbed.
Oh, see, never shout a racist awake. I'm sorry. I'll take a step back. I apologize.
No, take a fucking inspiration. Are you kidding?
Please don't use it against me.
I mean, what's should I wave bacon in your face? Is that a better way to do it? I don't know. Let's just fucking wake up. It's breakfast time.
I mean, you can just say, or first of all, lady says hi.
Oh,
Um,
lady.
Oh, hi.
Second of all, she's mad at me for just not getting home. But anyway, Aurora says, you could just say, Aurora, and I will wake up. When you shout, I assume that someone else died.
That's fair.
Oh, well, yeah, somebody else probably died, but nobody we know.
It's either going to be someone else died or someone else is going to.
I mean, everybody, people always die.
Yes, and some sooner than
That's
others.
dark as fuck.
Now, can we get some food?
Yes, please.
Wait, where's...
Oh,
Did Xavier show up yet?
no, not yet.
you
Were
put
we
on
supposed
your
to meet him
pants?
somewhere? We gotta meet him at the temple, right?
I don't know what the fuck Gray set up with him. For all we know, Xavier is going to pop in the middle of the jail, which would probably be bad. Also, Bree, put on your pants before we leave the room.
Oh, yeah, right.
You at
Puts
least
on her
hold the
pants.
temple.
Yeah, Rhea at this point has already put her pancakes away, so yeah, it's just a matter of pants. So
Sleeps butt naked.
I feel you. All right, so yeah, so the both of you swing the door open, and as you do so, leaning up against the wall directly across from you is the beautifully dressed in purple floofy pants with soft pointed shoes and a leather harness across his bare chest with jewels adorning every bit of his glistening abs is Xavier, holding and tapping on the wall next to the torch is a scroll that has been sealed with a golden band, and he says, "Oh my goodness. How strange it is to see you two coming out of a room together. Kind of unfortunate that you didn't invite me in, but that's for another day. Where is our dear sweet pussycat?"
It's not cat
First
anymore.
of all, you could have shown up the night before if you really wanted to.
Actually, I couldn't. I was contractually obligated to perform all of my teleportation rituals yesterday for the mages of the Circle of Six in Port Sindrian, so before you tell me my business, figure out your fucking own.
Yeah, let's slow down. She hasn't had her morning bacon yet.
Oh, I have bacon. Would you like some? He snaps his
yeah,
finger.
bacon.
He snaps his finger, and as he holds the hand out, the scroll into some small, like, almost pocket in his wrist, and out comes, bloop, a plate of bacon.
Wait,
Not
you didn't-
fresh.
You didn't transform the scroll into bacon, did you?
Gods, no, are you...
What? It looked like you did. I just thought that's all I'm saying.
It looked like it, yes, but no, please, take a taste. Have a little piece, have a little slice.
Regrabs like several.
It's good fucking bacon. Maybe maybe a few hours old, but it's good bacon.
Good bacon.
Aurora, can I interest you?
Aurora's going to take less than Ree did, but we'll take some, eat it, and then go.
It's pretty good fucking
Alright,
bacon.
Yeah, I woke up to a naked Ree yelling at me.
Ooh.
You know, put you a little on edge. Not in the fun way before you get excited.
Ooh, stop it with all this innuendo.
I mean, some people like to see me naked.
Ree, sweetheart, do you think I'd give you a pair of my beautiful pants if I didn't want to see you completely stark naked, burn them from your breeches? Wait, oh, sorry. Getting myself excited. We have things to do.
You got a lot of stuff going on there.
What? Why don't we bring Doc back from the,
Yeah.
dead?
Oh, I cannot perform this ritual, and he snaps his fingers, the remainder of the bacon plate disappears, and the scroll comes back out, and he says, I can't perform this, I just brought the scroll. Yes, she's, I assume, at the temple, correct?
Yeah. Let's get there. Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming. By the way, I appreciate it.
You're too pretty to talk, let's go. And he just kind of, like, puts his arm around you and just ushers you down the hallway.
Okay. All right.
He looks down and he
Aurora's
says,
got this
nice
blowout
pants.
pregnancy, but she's hoofing it because she wants Doc back.
Okay, so you guys exit during the night. Gray, is there anything that you would like to have accomplished?
Accomplished? Probably not. No chaos tonight. But I have a question. Yes. Quicklings, if they do answer. I was just
Okay.
gonna ask. If I don't ask you to do something, how long will you stay?
Make a persuasion check with advantage only because you rolled a nat 20 on their animal handling check.
So glad I rolled that once.
I can't believe you did. I thought of it as like a weird... Okay. 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 No, that's good.
My
That's good.
Pathfinder luck is bad.
A 15 and a 13 are great rolls.
Yeah, but they're below 10.
What? Oh, you mean the initial roll. I'm sorry, I'm seeing the totals. Well, good thing that you're not playing an investigator. Okay, so thankfully for you, my rolls were a 1 and a 3, so not a big deal whatsoever. One of them responds. And so the answer is as follows in very broken common.
First order. You give. No, make us run. But we run anyways. First order, you give. We run. We kill. We kill. We kill. We kill. We kill for you. We kill for him. We kill for him. We kill for him. Nothraxian.
And then they stop answering you.
That's my first order. Let's complete what I do for tonight. Because even though I have an alibi right now, I don't feel like murdering someone. So.
Now, you do remember that these things are innately very fucking evil. If something is in misery, they are going to giggle and dance around the fire. Okay.
Misery as we speak.
Oh, God. What have I done? Okay, so Aurora, Ree, and Xavier, you arrive at the Temple of Garl Glittergold. As you enter, you are ushered immediately to the back room, where you find Doc's body in the same exact position, with a guard in the room, the priestess, the high priestess, who takes the scroll from Xavier and lays it out on a small wooden plank. She tacks it down with four nails so that it cannot fold up or roll up on into itself, and she begins to perform the ritual. Give me one moment. Also, as you are walking over there, Xavier does request payment. So as a sake of brevity issue, if you want to go ahead and give him the payment.
Yep. How much was it?
600, right?
Yep, it was 600. It was 500 for the scroll and 100 for his casting and teleport back.
Yeah, giving it all in gold.
Perfect. So,
But as she gives it, she is going to say, "Thank you," with more sincerity than I think she's ever used.
he, as he takes the gold, says, "I make no profit off of this. This is a favor for my friends." And then continues to shovel the cash into his coin purse of the pocket veins. So, he gets here, hands the scroll over, he stands in the back of the room with another guard, you two surrounding, and the priestess now laying here. There is a full hour that requires this ritual to be cast. While it is being cast, because of the way that I do resurrections, and let me take just one peek here to see where she is at.
If possible, Doc had one more question for Carl.
Yeah, absolutely. Please, go ahead. Actually, you know what? No. Hold on to it until we figure out the resurrection. All right. So as she begins to perform the ritual, she begins by drawing a chalk circle around the body that is in a bed. She draws runes around each segment of the circle, 12 in total, kind of representing a clock. She then begins to lay tokens, small gold and silver and platinum coins within the confines of the circle. She then takes a holy symbol of Garl Glitter Gold, which is Doc's own nugget, and lays it on her chest. She then, being the caster of the Gentle Repose, puts her hand on Doc's chest, whispers a small prayer under her breath, and you see all of the gray cocoon-like energy kind of retract into her hand as she pulls it back, and you see Doc's body shudder momentarily as if she's had a very quick but violent seizure, and then fall quiet. She then begins the incantations, and you immediately see the nugget flare with divine energy, giving off this golden light and these small sparkles kind of spitting off of it, coming down onto Doc's corpse, hitting and transforming the flesh ever so slightly from gray colored flesh into normal pink colored gnomish flesh, and then fading back into gray. During our ritual, would anybody like to attempt to add to the ritual success and or potential failure? I'm listening. I have to take my bio break real quick.
I know for Ree's part, she's probably going to do similar to how she talked to Garl the night before with the music box. She's going to be kind of playing it and just saying, having a little prayer to herself and to Garl. Be like, Garl, my boy, come on, this is what I'm talking about. Work your glittery magic.
Aurora's already given Doc all the things that she had to give to Doc. All the sentimental things have already been given. But she is, she's very similarly, trying to just hope for good luck there. Just less goblin-y. She is going to kind of pair that with just thinking about the things that Doc's, it's the Doc montage in Aurora's brain, minus, the repeated falling down parts, focusing on the standing up parts, the stabbing and shooting, and all the things that have really been Doc at her best.
Yes. That time where she murdered you. How about that?
That's probably in there too.
Good times.
Because Doc's action at that point.
Doc has murdered everyone.
Yeah,
Except you.
Oh, don't worry.
Just that. And trying desperately to not interfere.
Okay, so Ree and Aurora, give me religion checks. If you are going to do this with your inspiration, you're more than welcome to do it with advantage. If not, there is no additional advantage added.
Ooh, almost 8.
All right. So, Ree, as you begin to go through the motions, you feel Garl's connection, and you look down at Doc's nugget, and you look at the priestess's nugget, both of which are both vibrantly glowing and have a small tether of light that is tying the two together. As you begin to pray, and as you begin to beg, and as you begin to spin the music box, your nugget flares into brightness alongside them, and a small shoelace-sized tether of light ties in to the other two nuggets. Aurora, as you begin to go through the stories, you go through the ropes, you go through the begging and the pleading, you feel yourself failing initially, as you are not great with this whole religion thing. You are not capable of completely comprehending how their connection, and you can see it clear as day. You know it is physically manifesting in front of you, but you just don't quite conceptualize it. However,
Hoping.
there is
Need Doc back.
there is a turn during the phrasing where you switch from "please just let this happen" to the word "luck." And as soon as the word "luck" leaves your lips, each time you say it in your conversation with this entity that you don't even know if it truly exists, the nuggets flare up like somebody just flipped their high beams on at you in the car. And you feel both of you have successes within this resurrection, this raised dead. So, with that being said, Doc has died 3 times, which means that Doc's failure percentage right now is 8%. However, you have both just increased her success by 5%. You can never go below 1%. So you have reduced her from 8% to 1% failure. Candace, would you like to have No, I'm rolling. You get to pick, though, high or low. It's either a 1% or a 100% is your failure rate.
Yeah, I know what it is. I just know what happened last time. Alright.
Last time, you've died at least 6 times since that last time.
Last time I had one.
I know.
Alright, Winnie. Let's go, high.
High. That means the only way for you to fail is if I roll triple zeros on the percentile dice.
That's what happened to Winnie, y'all.
I know. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. And what is it that you are saying to Garl? As you feel and sense the ritual, you look down at your hands, and even in this weird, spiritual, semi-translucent form, Garl looks down at you and says,
How sweet. They're attempting to bring you home. I truly hope it succeeds, as you have much to do, Sister of Sparkle.
I do. And on that note, she looks down at her hands, kind of holds one up, and you can see through a little. I'm new to this, fully devoted to you thing. Is it okay if I'm devoted to other people too?
Clarify the question. You are always devoted to your friends, and you are always devoted to me.
Romantically, I know some religions, they don't really allow you to get involved romantically. Is that allowed with being a right?
My child, you are free to love and embrace whomever you shall choose, so long as they do not hamper the tenets of the Glitterbrights.
Okay. Thank you. I promise that I will make you proud.
give me 1 second. Sorry, I just had a raid.
I got her.
I love that.
He looks down and he says,
I know, my dear sweet child, that you only mean well, and I know your intentions are true. Just be wary of who you devote yourself to. I know she. I've watched her for ages. She means no harm to those that she has persecuted in the past. My goodness, would you look at that?
And he nods down towards your hands. And as you look down instinctively, you see that they are materializing into flesh form. And it quickly twists up and around your elbows, and then quickly up into your shoulders, into your neck, your head. Your hair bounces, long, brown, curly locks, as you feel yourself being yanked back down towards the prime material plane as I rolled a 0 on my 10 percentiles and on my double digits a 70. That is a success. With that, the ritual succeeds, and Doc suddenly sits up with a full gasp, conscious in front of all of you.
As she was getting pulled, she would have looked at Carl with 2 times and said thank you. And then, as she sits up in the room, I assume the first person she sees is the priestess.
The priestess is above you, but Aurora is immediately to her left, and Ree is immediately to her right.
Okay, so she's gonna look straight ahead. She's gonna take her breath and then take one of the priestess's hands in her hand and say, thank you. She's gonna look over at Aurora and she's gonna say, I'm sorry. She's gonna look at Ree. She's just gonna turn and tap her cheek. Hit me.
Oh, yes, please. She'll smack you.
All right, I'm not even make you roll for it. Ree fucking slaps you across the fucking. Are you trying to hurt her? Or are you trying to knock her head straight?
Not trying to knock her block off. Like, and if she probably has 1 hit point, it'll probably kill her.
She literally has 1 hit point. That's why I was asking.
Oh, God, no.
I was like, oh goddamn, we need a priest.
Spin her head off like a fucking bottle cap. Whoa!
Oh shit!
You don't happen to have another one of those scrolls, do you, big guy?
Oh my god!
No, just like, I mean, like, she's probably like crying and happy, like, I fuck you again, and then give her a big old hug. You're like, God damn it! What the fuck were you doing?
She'll embrace back and squeeze really tight, and then probably see Xavier in the room.
Xavier is there, and he's standing in the back of the room next to the guard, who, as you glance over at Xavier, is all smiles, and his hand is over his heart. As he looks down at you, though, he glances at the guard, who is in the process of pulling manacles out. And he kind of nods at you, and he says, I'm just so happy my little pussycat came back this time. Sorry to see you like this. And I'm sorry for what is about to happen. As the guard steps forward and kind of pushes through the group, the lieutenant leans down, kneels down really, and he lays the manacles on your lap and he says, you know what happened. I know what happened. And I saw the ritual performed on you. I'm well aware of what you've done. Unfortunately, in the name of the Ore Master, I place you, Doc, under arrest for attempted assassination. Please don't resist me.
She just nods with a sad smile. She looks at Xavier and she says, thank you. And she kind of like, her eyes dart to Aurora and Ree after she says thank you. And then she'll put her wrists into the manacles and she'll smile around everybody and she'll say, it's gonna be okay.
The lieutenant kind of blinks heavily, actually seeing like water welling up in his eyes, and he clasps the manacles down in front of you, not behind you. And then he attaches a small chain to the center of the manacles after they've been clasped, and he wraps that chain around his belt, and he says, to prison then, for the time being.
Can we have even a minute before she goes, so she can
Make a persuasion check.
Or okay. God, I'm so good at these.
Your face says on for Bobby's cat.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, all right.
Holy shit, okay. The lieutenant stops momentarily. He looks down at you, almost suspiciously, and then he says... He looks at the other guard in the room and he says... I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll be back in. Excuse me. And he stands and he nods to the other guard, and they exit the room.
The second they leave, I tackle Doc.
Doc will awkwardly try to hug the manacles and maneuver so that she can hug her back.
It's more like, yeah, like you can get your arms over her. I mean, you're little people. That's a big ass pair of manacles. Like you get your hands over her head, and you're capable of hugging, no problem.
She gives a big squeeze. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would have had your back. But you know what? You're back. You're fucking back.
I'm still a gnome.
Sorry.
Well, you were
If
always meant to be.
if I had known you weren't gonna go take a shit, I would have stopped.
I should have just. I mean, I kind of did take it, if we're being honest. There's so much just happened. I literally just hung out with Carl, Glittergold, and things are different now. But the truth is what we need. We have to tell the truth. We have to do the right thing. We have to do the right thing. And I am so sorry that I delayed saving your family. I'm so sorry.
Oh, as long as we have you back, that's what really matters, and we'll get this sorted out, and then we'll go.
We will. And also, we're gonna save Gray.
Yeah, so since we have under 5 minutes, the very, very short version, we know that Ass Face ended up killing you. They know too, they spoke to you. I don't know if you remember that. That's not super important. Gray is currently in jail, not in prison. They're treating him very, very well. He's
I don't
still
mean save him from prison.
we'll get to that. I'm a little extra mad at him at the moment. But we can argue later. We don't have time right now. We're gonna trust the dwarves to do the court thing the way that their system is supposed to be. Already yelled at Gray to tell the truth and not try and spin shit. And also he took your macaroons, so that's still a thing.
So Doc has the same kind of look on my face, on her face as what's on mine, where she's just kind of like smiling at everything that Aurora's saying. Get the macaroons back. Save Gray. I know, you spent a lot of money on the macaroons, but we will also save Gray.
I don't give a fuck about the money. They were yours. They're not for that bastard to have. They're yours.
I think that bastard needs a little saving too. And she'll look over at Ree. If we can find him, we need to have a conversation, Aurora. A conversation.
Oh yeah, it'll be
With
a very
words.
productive
Words.
conversation.
We have to go through the process. I fucked up. But it's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what happened when you were dead, but okay. Yeah, we'll talk about this on the road. There's gonna be a trial and stuff. Also, can I like you kind of look like shit right now. Can I help a little?
I don't know. I don't want you to get in trouble.
The priest. Yeah, she's in here. She looks down and she says, "No, please, yes, do what you must."
Doc will look down her body at that point when she says she looks like shit.
So as you look down at yourself, you essentially at this point, after the Raise Dead spell, you look like a fucking corpse. I mean, literally. You look the way Beaufort looked after you guys brought him back for the dead. Remember, he was, for 4 days, he was sick as shit. So the way this works, just so you know, Candace, is that this was a very taxing ordeal on your body and your spirit. You have a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks for 4 days. You must long rest each day, and each day it is reduced by 1. However, your mortal wounds were all closed, and that is pretty much it. Any poison you had or disease was cured on you, but that's about it. Okay, so Aurora begins to furiously, begins to furiously pump healing into you. And the interesting thing is, for Aurora, this is an instinctual thing. But you swear, at least through a few of those full verbal incantations, that there is a prayer in there somewhere. And your wounds begin to zip closed, and you are healed for, I'm sorry, you said 32? 32 points?
No, 30.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, yep.
How she looks.
Yes.
Because I've got more. If she still looks like shit.
She looks a lot better. A lot better. She'll put a hand, she'll put her hands on Aurora's face, and she'll say, "You have to stay calm.
20, 30.
If we're all in jail, we're all in jail."
She's gonna lean forward a little bit. One of them called me a lizard, and I smiled and walked away.
She starts laughing. Oh God, did you have a lizard?
One of the ones that Gray spoke to.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Another put cups on me, like those, but more. Also one that Gray spoke to. And I smiled and walked away. I'm staying calm because we're getting out of this.
Ree and Aurora, make perception checks for me, please. These are passive.
Well, I'm focused on Doc.
Yeah, you are absolutely focused on Doc. However, Ree, as they're having this little heart-to-heart, you look down at the belt that you keep on regularly, and you're like, what the fuck? That's strange. You tap this small leather band that you used to keep that cool elixir that you had in that flask, and it's gone.
Must have left it back in the room.
If I could give you double inspiration, I'd fucking do it. That is the best justification.
So Doc will, she'll lock eyes with Aurora, and she'll say, "I am so sorry. Hang in there."
I don't fucking care. You're back.
At this point, you hear...
You're back.
At the knock, she'll look over at Ree. "We're saving Gray. We're saving your family. Just go with it. Truth." She'll stand up.
The priestess walks over to the door, opens it. The guard, the guardsman walks in with his, or the lieutenant walks in with his guardsman, and the lieutenant peeks around and says, "I've given you 5 minutes. Can we proceed with this, please?"
She takes a really big breath for a really tiny body, and turns around, gives a wink to Ree, blows a kiss to Aurora, and then walks out the door.
So he takes your manacles, he attaches the chain, and he attaches it to his belt, and the guardsman walks behind you. You're in the middle. The lieutenant's leading. You're in the middle. Guardman in the back.
You see this.
Before you all leave, when's the trial? Is it going to be today? Can we get this?
The lieutenant turns around and he says, "You're more than welcome to follow us. The Lord will see you now."
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you, priestess. You were awesome. That was amazing.
I'm gonna take 30 seconds and grab what little bit of Doc's stuff was there and just drop it in the bag.
There's not much that's there. Actually, give me just 1 sec. I will just to give you an idea of what was there quickly. You pop the chest open and you just start to shovel shit in there. You find a belt tabard of Maglubiet. You find a couple. You find a lock, a key, about 88 gnomish macaroons, a journal.
There. Oh,
Yep. Yep, they're in the bag. They're in her backpack. There's the cask of Firebelly, which is pretty much mostly empty. You find that ranger ring, a set of silver thieves' tools, a small silver key, and then you find this.
Uh-oh.
You find a blood red, gold and platinum inlaid goblet that, as you touch it, immediately, even to your cold scaled hands, feels freezing to the touch. As you peer inside, you see a crusty, red, almost congealed liquid residue on the inside, and it stinks like rot.
Well, no time to worry about that right now. Into the bag it goes.
All right, poof.
Yep, everything just, it's grab, go in the bag, grab, go in the bag, and then she takes off after them.
All right, so you roll out. Oh, go ahead.
I wrote down what Doc used to say to activate that cup, so Gray did know eventually at the time. I lost the notes. I mean, they're back in Nigeria, so he's brought.
Lucky motherfucker. Okay, so you guys get back to the Ore Master's Fortress. Gray, the night has come and went, and there is not a whole lot else, quite frankly, that has happened in that time. In the morning, you are woken up by a rattle on the gate, or the door to your cell. And as you open your eyes and look out, you see, first and foremost, a couple of shadows that were all in a big glob in one corner of the room by the tray of biscuits kind of dart up and start to bounce around the room. Nobody else seems to notice them. The younger dwarven man is there. He tells you to get dressed, get yourself situated. He brings you a bucket of hot water with soap, different dwarven perfumes, even some like cakes of blush, or like powder, and he just sets it in and says, do what you have to do. We'll be back in 10 minutes. It's time for child. Also, it appears that your friend was successfully raised from the dead. So you get yourself situated, cleaned up, and he comes back. He clasps you in manacles, though very loosely, and he begins to lead you out of the holding cell, the jail, and to the Ore Master's Fortress. Give me one moment. So you're all brought into the Ore Master's inner sanctum in the fortress itself.
Sayru says, "Oh yeah, let Grace smell like a dwarf. Aurora's gonna love it."
Oh hell yeah!
Aurora's favorite.
Okay, so all right, so Aurora, you are brought into the chamber that you see here. The Ore Master, the Ore Lord himself, is standing at the center. You see Doc to one side on the right, and to the left, you see Krogmar. Krogmar looks pretty fucking beat up, but he always looks like he's in a state of just general disarray, so it's not totally outlandish. You see a couple of other nobles standing around the room. Some of them, oops, I'm sorry, I'm moving them, apparently. Some of them look like they're holding small, like, almost like medieval-style clipboards with parchment laid out, and it looks like they're getting ready to write, and then there are a shitload of guards in the room. You can count at least 8, with the 2 on the outside. So, Gray, you are brought in, and you are placed in the center of the room. The Ore Lord looks down at you, and he begins to speak. He says,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a day that I thought I'd have to oversee. This is not a day that I thought I'd have to even hear about in any way, shape, or form when our supposed saviors were at the center of an assassination plot against one of our own. I'd like to hear from the parties, as well as presenting some potential evidence in the favor and therefrom, against and for both individuals. But before we begin that process, would anybody like to speak and state anything for the court? He looks out at just the audience in general.
I'll wait to see if anyone else does before I go.
So Krogmar speaks up, and he looks to the Overlord, and he bows, and then he stands back up, and he says, Overlord, I fought bravely, may I say. And though it may have been a little out of sorts against the goblin wench, I fought adamantly, to the best of my ability. And when I thought I had her ready and beaten down, she beat me fair and square. And I went home copperless, not a cent to my name. And I went to bed hungry, and I was okay with that. I'd confirmed for myself my own loss. And in the night, the thief breaks in to my own home and attempts to kill me. Thankfully, I awoke because, quite frankly, she's shit at what she does. And as reparation for the assault against me and mine alone, I did not spare her through mercy. I killed her. I gutted her. And I bled her. And I hung her in the fucking town center for all to see. And that was my right. My prerogative here under Underhill and Dwarven more than anything law. Under Dwarven law, O Lord, I defended myself. I do not regret what I've done. And I would have done it to anybody standing in this chamber should they have threatened my life and my well-being. I understand I'm not a smart man. I understand I'm not a wise man. But I'm fucking strong. And I'm fast. And every day that goes by, I age and I become slower and weaker. And I will continue to take my victories to heart, even if it is against failed assassins. He bows to the Overlord again.
Doc kinda awkwardly raises her hand. She doesn't really know what to do in this case.
The Overlord, he gestures to you, as it is almost the way you guys are situated. Kind of like Gray is really the one on trial here, and there's just some other parties involved. It's typical. Hey, Gray, this is the first time you've been to court, by the way. Congratulations, you escaped. You escaped Middleton.
This is the first time he's on trial.
Well, yeah, right. Two true. Oh, that's right. He was in court. He was just hidden. So yeah, he kind of motions to you. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I'm waiting for the Quicklings to kill every guard in this place.
So once Dad gets permission to speak, she won't speak until she gets
Nope.
a nod.
He acknowledges. He puts his hand to you and says, "Yes, please, Doc."
She's looking over at Krogmar more than at the Ormaster or anybody else, and she says, I do regret what I did. I fell from not only my beliefs, but also my upbringing pretty far. And I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of what you did either, but I get it. All that I can say is that it won't happen again. to anybody, not just him, to anybody. And that I am sorry. And if you truly needed what you took, I understand. But sometimes
He blinks heavy when you say that, by the way, and he interjects and he says, "What are you talking about? As far as what I took. Your life, you deserved it. Your possessions are mine for the taking, because you failed and you showed up with everything on you, like the amateur you are."
If it makes you feel better to say that, then okay. Sometimes decisions are made that are not smart, but also maybe not our own. And at that point, her eyes kind of dart over to Gray.
You see everybody kind of look over at Gray at this point.
And sometimes all of us need saving. And she looks at both Cromwell and Gray. And that includes me. I was lucky enough. And so I thank you, she's looking at Cromwell, for what you've done.
He looks very confused.
It's not every day that somebody is allowed to not only learn from their mistakes, but to be taught the lesson by the one being that they truly look up to. I wouldn't have gotten where I am now without what you did. And so I regret what I did only because it harmed you. But the outcome couldn't have been better for me.
Krogmore kind of looks at you, wide-eyed. He's not entirely sure he's picked up what you've just attempted to allude to, as he's not a very smart or wise individual. So he kind of looks past you and he looks up to the Overlord and says, is this some sort of religious thing? Some fucking glitterbright you're gonna believe? Or, Master, that she just bounced back from the dead and had some sort of experience? Is that what I'm to understand? He kind of puts his hand up, the Overlord, to Krogmore, and he says, I think we should hear everybody out before we jump to conclusions regarding religion, my friend. Mr. Gray, what have you to say for yourself in this? Obviously, there is no denial that we have a plethora of charges here. And just to reiterate, Aurora and Ree are free from charges at this point. Gray, you are standing accused of hiring and plotting an assassination against Krogmore. And Doc, you are accused of attempted assassination against Krogmore. Krogmore, you are accused of defiling of a corpse. Unfortunately, the court has not been able to prove when the defiling occurred, if it was when this being, Doc, was living or dead. And there is no way for us to prove that outside of a Zone of Truth spell. We will partake in that bit next, but I wanted to let you know that you do stand on the precipice of potentially jail time, as the defiling of a corpse is, as you know, quite sinister as far as our laws are concerned. Krogmore kind of looks up and he says, There's no need to cast any of your fancy magics on me. I wouldn't be able to resist it anyways. Yes, I killed her, and I did not defile her corpse. I slit her throat to make sure she was dead. I bled all the way from my house to the tree that I hung her in. He kind of nods. I appreciate your candor. Mr. Gray, what say you about these charges?
Well, I've been instructed to speak the truth, and honestly, I was planning to do so anyway.
Mr. Gray, momentarily, may I ask you, have you been coerced to speak the truth, or has somebody fed you information, or suggested or manipulated you in any way, shape, or form to tell us something that is not what you would have wanted to tell us?
No, I would have told you this, even had no one spoken to me.
Understood. Please continue.
So, well, I do admire the beast of a dwarf there, for his honesty, which I had not expected of him. I also admire that he has no regrets, and I will say the same. I did hire Doc to kill him. I did so for my own, I guess, twisted reasoning of good. I did so because I saw this man in the arena, as he said, fight his hardest. But he did so with the intent to kill, even if it was against the arena rules. Not only that, I have enough reason and enough knowledge of him to know that he, I'm sure, would do so again and again and again. I have heard stories of him ripping people's noses off their faces in the arena. And I've heard of his, well, a little bit of his story. I thought if such a beast of a person was alive, then, well, he shouldn't be. As such, I hired Doc. And here I am. I regret nothing, but it probably won't happen again. As I have learned to not do good quotation marks.
Doc will raise her hand again as he's speaking.
He puts a hand out to you to kind of like shush you and kind of points at him. Continue.
There's nothing more to say. This is all.
I'm just...
I have my reasons.
Yes, Doc.
I'm not sure how much this really helps Ray, but to be fair, I was kind of a shite assassin, and maybe he knew that when he hired me. I'm not sure that he would have hired someone else. Yeah, I was not very good at it.
You hear from Krogmar, fucking obviously.
Yeah,
And the Overlord puts his finger out to Krogmar and then immediately throws it to Gray and says, "Both of you, shut your damn mouths or I'll silence you." Krogmar kind of puts his hands up. "My apologies, Overlord."
I understand where he's coming from. I would be pissed too. Am I allowed to say that here?
He nods. "Oh, absolutely."
So, I guess what I'm saying is that I think while it was very twisted and dark, Gray's intentions were, as he stated, good. Not only in that he thought he was doing good, but he hired a shit assassin to do the job. I could have said no. And I'm not saying that I want to die again. That was very unpleasant. What I'm saying is that even if it was subconsciously, I don't think he actually intended for Krogmar to die.
Understood. Are there any others here who wish to speak on behalf or against anyone who stands accused, either Krogmar, Gray, or Doc, before I pass my judgment? At this point, Aurora, standing next to you, is a small, dwarven man wearing a heavy helmet who takes a single step forward, and at this point you realize it's not a dwarven man, it's a dwarven boy. And as he removes his helmet from his head, the illusion fades away from his face, and you guys all recognize the familiar visage of Gimbal. Still clad in dwarven armor from the neck down, but his goofy, gangly-ass, pierced goblin head with a stupid raccoon hat adorning the top of his curly mop appears before you, and he says the following.
"Oh, Master, first of all, thank you for making it so easy to infiltrate your court.
Second of all, and he points to the other guards, gentlemen, 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 stand down. It's not, I mean, please. Really? Really? Alter self, you let me just walk right in here? Okay, anyways, I digress. Or master, I do not come to speak on behalf or against anyone, except for the Assassin Guild of Trinity. That which Doc believed she was a part of. I would like to offer up my condolences for the subterfuge. And I want to let you know that she was immediately upon acceptance of a personal bounty against somebody she called friend, in direct violation of the Assassin's Guild of Trinity, and therefore was immediately banished from the guild as soon as said contract was entered. This means she is not an assassin for hire, and is instead a piece of shit friend who tried to kill somebody on behalf of another friend. You and I, or Master, both know that the result of this information, which I can prove to you via signet. He reaches into his chest pocket and pulls out a small ring, offering it up to the Overlord. I swear to you and affirm this on behalf of the Assassin's Guild of Trinity, that this gnome, this woman, was never a part of the Assassin's Guild as soon as she accepted a bounty that was illegal and not taken through the proper routes. Therefore, she has committed no crime of assassination or attempted assassination. Neither has Mr. Gray committed a crime of hiring an assassin. This is much lower in your court and in your laws. This is a matter of murder and personal vengeance, and you and I both know that those charges hold a much lesser punishment. He then takes a step back to the wall and half bows. The Overlord, looking very wide-eyed at this point, says, "What in the absolute shit has happened in my court today?" The guards kind of look around.
Doc just taps her gold nugget.
So
Oh, you have it?
You do, yeah, it's on you. So the dwarves kind of look at each other, and they kind of like start to like draw weapons, and the Ormaster, no. He looks at the signet. He flips down a pair of spectacles onto his eyes, and he taps the top of the rim of one of the right eye 3 times, and you see it flash red. He looks at it. It's legitimate. He hands the signet back and says, "The charges of attempted assassination and hiring of an assassin will be absolved, and you will be charged with attempted murder, both of you. Do you plead guilty still, moving forward, knowing this lesser charge?"
Yes.
I've stated what I stated. I remain unchanged.
He nods. Very well. Then this court will pass judgment, and the judgment shall go as follows. And my friends, we will see you here next week on Sunday, as it is 10 o'clock on the dot, and that could not have ended in a more perfect freaking cliffhanger.
No, I hate you.
Yes, you will enjoy the next week of work. You will enjoy 7 days of work and life, and then when we come back, we will learn what happened. This is your sentence. All right, that was awesome and a lot of fun. Yeah. Wow, definitely did not expect all of the crazy shit to go down as it just went down.
I prayed. That was weird.
That was weird.
Wasn't it weird as fuck? Oh boy.
Thanks, guys. That was a really great session.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and hey, Doc's alive, so that's good. You guys got something going for you. We got lesser charges.
Dying.
Yeah.
This should be easier now, in theory.
I escaped death once again.
I was fully expecting the Ormaster to not have food poisoning, by the way, but to have actually been murdered by, like, Kragmaw.
That's what I said.
There were a lot of potential outcomes for how I wrote the rest of this chunk, and I was just like, by the way, I didn't write the last 4 weeks of game.
You fucking guys wrote the last 4 weeks of game, and I've just had to react to it. So, but I was like, man, we got a lot of pieces in play here. And then I was like, oh, but fuck, Gimbal is still around. And like, why would he? I mean, literally, and I, by the way, wrote a doctrine, an Assassin's Guild doctrine, when Candace wrote this character over a year ago. And one of the things was that you cannot accept an unofficial contract from anybody. It has to go through the guild first before it happens. And which worked out in your favor literally just now. And you know what? It was like ignorance and stupidity thrown into a vat and scooped out to, you know, onto a plate. It was just beautiful. The doctrine. Ah! Okay, I'll see myself out.
Inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the inspiration I gained this game. Okay. Alright, guys. We'll end here for tonight. We will pick up with Judgment being passed next week on Sunday. That will be the very first thing that happens. And yeah, we'll just kind of rock it out and see what happens.
I'm going...
Oh, that's the table!
Previously on.
Yeah.
You just crudely shoved a, like, butter knife through that piece of wood. Steak knife, maybe.
Nice.
Alright, guys.
Everybody.
Yeah, have a great week at work or school or whatever it is that you're doing.
Probably
And,
not, but the sentiment's appreciated.
I'm just trying to be as positive as I possibly can for everyone. And hey, if nothing else, Kat, in 2 weeks, you not only have a Sunday D&D game, but Saturday D&D as well, so that's cool.
Sure.
I am counting the fucking days. I already wrote those.
I know. All right.
On that note,
Yeah. Oh, yes.
so our break is coming up, and I thought for like the Easter break, my parents are gonna come over here.
Okay.
We've arranged a whole stay somewhere else, and I
Oh.
don't know how the Wi-Fi for that's gonna be. So
Oh, that's fine. Well, let me know sooner than later what the date will be, like which Sunday it will be that you will not be here, and we, you know, the sooner I know, the better I can write you out temporarily.
it might be for a few Sundays. They plan on staying for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know how long you'll be gone.
Will do. I'll tell you. I should hopefully be able to tell you by tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good, buddy. Yeah, just let me know, and yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. Hopefully you guys are going somewhere fun, like, you know, the Druid Circles of Scotland or something.
That might be.
Well, when you come back short, we'll understand.
He's a halfling now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I
right.
was convinced Gray was gonna come back as a kobold.
That would have been amazing.
That'd have been pretty badass.
I kind of want to see a fallen kobold. Fallen Axmar kobold.
Oh, that would look cool.
Pretty badass. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic week, and yeah, Lucy, just let me know so I can work on this, you know, sooner than later. Obviously, so you'll be here next week for sure, right? Because, or are they coming before Easter?
They're coming before, I believe. I think it is next week.
Ah, shit. Oh, god damn
I'll
it.
let you know by Monday.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Well, whatever you got to do, man. I will figure out a way to get you out. So, okay. Have a great week, guys, and yeah, we'll see you next weekend.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, guys. All right, friends. We're gonna go ahead and raid some Rocka Joe. Rocka Joe is getting raided tonight. So, stick with us for just a few moments. 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for joining us for session number 63 of Unlikely Heroes, and we'll see you all next week. Bye now.